on the use of reciprocation in project management. Now, the influence principle of reciprocation is the psychological law that basically if you give somebody something, such as a gift, they will automatically say thank you, feel like they need to give you a gift back at the next holiday. They'll feel indebted to you automatically, naturally, and subconsciously. So it's very powerful to take that in consideration when managing projects, and it might help you look at managing projects a slightly different way so that you can do so more effectively. For example, one way to use reciprocation in project management is to give value first to the project sponsor. You want to really listen to them and take a ton of notes and maybe use your project management expertise and knowledge to help them slightly adjust the scope, deadline, or goal of the project, and that might help them come off better to their boss or the board, or it might just help their company make more money if you help them adjust how the project is executed so the end product is of higher quality. And so providing that upfront advice to the project sponsor can really help, and it provides value to them first, so that then they might be a little bit more patient with you if there's a mishap or a timeline deadline missed within the project. Another way to use project management, to use reciprocation in project management, is actually during the buy-in process at the beginning. When you're preparing to launch the project and you're getting the buy-in from the different department heads or business managers or people on your team you'll be working with, you'll need to explain to them how the process works and really get them to buy in on actually doing the work. But to do so, you'll probably want to ask them for their feedback and then incorporate as much of that feedback as possible, so that later on when you come back to them and there's a project they need to take care of, or basically work that they need to fit into their busy schedule, you can point to the thing that you incorporated based on their advice and provide that really tangible, specific evidence that their feedback was valued, incorporated, and now this work that they're doing will be valued. And really this might seem like a small detail or something somewhat obvious, but lots of times this doesn't happen because everybody's busy and it's hard to get everybody's feedback and actually use it, implement it, and take notes on what they provided as feedback. But it's really important to do, and if you treat them with respect and provide them with that value up front, they're going to treat you with respect and not ignore your request to get this work done in the future. The last point here in using reciprocation for project management is to fight for the implementers. Many times when a project starts, the project sponsor or project leader have these grand ideas of how they're going to accomplish a huge amount of work in maybe 3 weeks, 3 months, or 3 years. No matter what the timeline is, many times the expectations are unrealistic and too high, or maybe they're realistic, but they assume that the frontline people and the people who are going to be doing all of the hard work to implement are going to be working on this full time or working on it very hard. That sometimes isn't the case. So it's important to, if you're working in project management, to fight for the implementers. So that's how things get done. They actually have people doing the heavy lifting, creating the templates, creating the processes, putting the new actions in place, completing the processes day to day. So it's important to fight for them in terms of looking at things from their perspective, from their point of view, and making sure that their other constraints, time constraints, frustrations, are basically at least recognized. One way to do this is by creating very step-by-step kind of checklist-based changes, actions, or work tasks for them to complete. And if they see that the work they've done has been carefully planned out, and here's the order to do it in, and we made a checklist so it's even easier for you to complete this hard work, they're going to know that their time has been respected. They're not being thrown a project that nobody's even thought through and is really just a lofty management idea and lofty project that isn't very realistic. Then you won't get people working very hard for you. So if you add reciprocation into this and provide them with value by having a well-documented process, a checklist, a list of things they need to be completing with a timeline to that, it can really add a lot of value to them and to the whole project being completed successfully as well. So again, thank you for joining us here for this video. This is businesstraining.com, where you can earn master's level qualifications to make more money.